You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No, you can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's ZENNI.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. Happy Friday. How are you doing? Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Ooh. It's also the Daytona 500 weekend here. It's President's Weekend. It's Valentine's Weekend. My goodness. If you survive this weekend without overspending and overcommitting, you win.
I need a boost. I need a daily boost. I need a boost. I need a daily boost.
It is the Daily Boost. It's me, Scott Smith. Good to have you. Thanks for stopping in today on this Friday. It'll be a fun weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to the races. If you live in Daytona Beach, Port Orange, Ormond Beach, all the area that I live in, we pretty much hear the races all the time. You can be 10 miles away. You're going to hear the Daytona 500. So I'm going to go and have some fun with that. Man, just love a NASCAR spectacle. It is awesome. Got an email from an Instagram message at Hey Scott Smith on Instagram from Keith. Keith has been traveling and listening quite a bit. He literally is sending me a message about every day. And most days I respond back. He's traveling 3-day weekends. It's his anticipation engine in order. Getting ready to go to Spain now. And he just wanted to write in and say, man, 2025 is a good year. 2026 has the potential to be even better. And you played a big part in that. So thank you. And I appreciate that, Keith. And I'm jealous as hell. I really am. Well, I'm sitting here doing a podcast and you're traveling the world. Man, dude, I'm kidding. I love the fact you're doing it. I get to do the same thing. I also had somebody ask me, they said, Scott, you mentioned you did your schedule to work 24 hours a week. Why and how's that working? Well, I did it because I just decided to retire. Okay, let me be clear about this, okay? Everybody I know who retires from a real job then starts a YouTube channel and a podcast. So I simply said, just give up all the stuff I don't like to do. Let's just do what I always like to do, like the podcast. That calls me retired. And I figured I could do that in 24 hours. Turns out I did it in 22 the first week, and the second week I did it in 18. I'm sharing that with my inner circle too, how I'm making that stuff happen as well. I'll share with you too, maybe next week or two, okay? All right, let's dig in today. I want to talk about overwhelm. Is that okay if I do that? I mean, you never get overwhelmed, do you? Nah. I have been overwhelmed many, many times in my life, and I do not like the feeling, but it does happen. It's called being human. No matter how much you try to control it, you're going to get overwhelmed sometimes. That's life. But why, Scott? That's not... I don't know why. I'm sorry. It's way above my pay grade. It just happens. I was talking to an overwhelmed client, and I said these words. I love this, and write this down if you haven't heard me say this before, okay? This is good. I made this up. This is all mine. Nobody can take this from me. More is on the other side of less. More money, more happiness, more time, more of everything that you want is on the other side of doing less, meaning you must do less to make more happen. Now, you know this instinctively. I mean, a lot of people will say, God, go busy, busy, busy. We'll talk about that. Yeah, but there's a little bit more under the hood going on here. It's counterintuitive, but successful people know that you can't live in chaos. Rushing around all the time, like a chicken with your head cut off. Why did I say that? I have never seen a chicken with their head cut off, ever. Not even on TV. Well, maybe on TV, I guess. If you have agency, control over yourself, and you are doing more and more to get what you want, you are proving to me loud and clear that you have no control or self-discipline. If you're just going crazy all the time to get stuff done, you're proving to me, man, you're working way too hard. In the day of AI right now, I mean, the reason I'm cutting my hours down so much, I'm harnessing AI like you can't believe. It is crazy how much more efficient anybody can get if they know how to use those tools. I know sometimes you rush around, right? Sometimes you get busy. Sometimes you need massive action to get what you want. So what I'm saying is the first thing you need to do is this. So listen really closely. You've heard me talk about this before, and other people talk about this as well. If you hear a lot of people that actually kind of sort of have their hours under control and their life together, you ought to listen. If not, why the hell you listen to the podcast? First off, you want to massively limit what you focus on. You want to eliminate 80% of what you think you need to do. Well, I can't, Scott. Yes, you can. Guaranteed. Some of you can do it today. Some of you might take a week or two to wind it down. You get rid of 80% of what you think you need to do. And then you focus on the 20% of what you really want to do. And that's where you put your massive action. That's what Tony Robbins said years ago. Apply massive action, right? He didn't tell you to apply it to everything. He never specified, did he? I'm saying get rid of 80%, come down to the 20%, apply massive action there. And if you want to do what I like to do, apply massive imperfect action. Why do we say that? Because y'all get caught up in perfectionism. Clean up the mess later. Just go. It's easier to clean up when you're down to 20%. It really is. You'll be calm. You'll be disciplined. You'll be peaceful. You will be effective when you do that. Yeah, you can do it even in this crazy world we live in. You really can. Let me tell you something. Nobody really cares what you were doing on your own time, what your old plans are. I don't know if you spend time journaling. Maybe you're investing, you're planning your life in the future. I don't know. Nobody cares about that. They just don't care. They only care about how you interact when you show up with them. They just don't care. They're not thinking about you. Now, I'm a guy who thinks about other people all the time. It's kind of part of my job, and it's a real hard thing for me to separate the two and get back and think about me. End of the day, nobody cares about you. They don't care about, well, they do. You get what I mean, right? But they're not thinking about you. They're thinking about who? Themselves. If you take ownership in your own journey, you do it in your own time, if you're consistent, you can change so fast, and you can do it without anybody even knowing you said you were going to do it. Why? Because you didn't say you were going to do it. You just did it. How fast can you change? One decision. Once you make that decision, you can change today. You can change now. Before the end of this podcast, you can make a decision that I'm done with this. I'm doing that. Think about it. You can start. You can stop. You can completely flip your world upside down, and you don't need anybody's permission except, yours. So how do you begin? I was talking to one of my inner circle members, and we were chatting about day-to-day and how to manage work, the office, the people. Very high performance department of people, highly paid, very, very smart, very, very ambitious, very aggressive. And lots of times in those environments, it's kind of interesting. These are your rainmaker kind of people. They get stuff done, and it causes all kinds of interesting strife in a department, right? But also, you'll also find people come together in a team culture, and they try to solve everything by committee, which is really hard to do if it's a bunch of high performers. If you have a ton of high performers and not a good coach to kind of manage those performers, you got chaos. And sadly, in most of these places where you have all these high performers, these racehorses that are running, you've got a lot of chaos, don't you? That's not a bad thing. It just happens. It's complicated. It can take a long time to make a decision to get what you want. And plus, when nobody really owns the outcome, you never really reach what's possible, do you? So I told her to stop. I said, by that, I mean, just keep up appearances, keep playing the game. It's a game, guys. If you're going to an artificial place called the office, it's away from your family, friends, and your home. It's a game. It's not your life. They're not your friends. Trust me. I said, put your head down. Use your brain. Decide what you want to do and go do it. Don't tell anybody what you're going to do. Let them catch up. Once you have momentum, they will notice. And she did that. And as expected, once people began to see that, oh, look at her, she's doing this thing that's working really well. What are you doing? Can you show us how to do that? Boom, everybody gets on board.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Hi, this is Zoe Deutsch.
And Nick Robinson. Our brand new movie, Voicemails for Isabel, is all about those little moments that feel like the universe is looking out.
Feeling homesick, then your sister calls.
Hearing that perfect song exactly when you need it. Sometimes life rigs things in our favor, like learning about your new favorite rom-com, Voicemails for Isabel. Now playing only on Netflix.
It's all about you guys. And that's in a good way. When I say it's about you, you have that control. Now, to get focused, here's what I asked her to do. What should you do that will lead directly and quickly to achieving your goal? What can you do today that will lead directly and quickly to achieving your goal? What must you do today that will lead directly and quickly to achieving your goal? Should, can, must. Simple questions. It's a filter. It's a lens that you're looking through that gives you a different view of the world. So should, what is that? Well, that's a brainstorm layer. It's where you give your brain permission to kind of think and identify everything that theoretically matters. It's not useless. It's necessary maybe, but it's only the first step. If you stop there, you're just daydreaming with a checklist, and that's where the chaos happens. How about can? Well, that is the reality layer. It's where you take a look at your actual life, your time, your resources, your energy, your commitments, and you ask, what's actually possible? This is where most people discover that their list was built for somebody with 40 hours a week and no other responsibilities, not like me with 18 hours a week. You don't have 40 hours a week. Maybe you have 6. So what can you do realistically? Have you ever taken everything you have to do on your to-do list and tossed it into ChatGPT and say, please design my schedule? And it says, you are so ambitious, this takes 80 hours. Do it one day. I'm telling you. Watch what happens. You're trying to do too much. How about must? Must is a priority layer. And this is really the one that matters. This is where you stop negotiating with yourself and you get honest. If you only had 1 hour tomorrow and something critical was on the line, what would you do? That's your must. Everything. I mean, everything else is optional, even if you don't think it is. You had one thing to do. And you know what? If you do one thing, one really important, powerful thing, that's kind of all you have to do. For years, I've taught 3, and most successful people I know, they have 3 major initiatives they're going to do throughout the course of a day. And one of those 3 things may be just an important phone call. 3 things. If you can get that into one, watch out. The Stoics had a version of this. Marcus Aurelius, I talk about him all the time, that Roman Empire, emperor, philosopher. He said a lot. They wrote his meditations. He said, if you seek tranquility, do less. Or more accurately, do what's essential. Do what's essential. Not what's interesting, not what's easy, not what other people think you should be doing. What's essential? Most people never ask that question. In talking to my inner circle member, she just kind of laughed. She said, should, can, must. You don't leave a girl any wiggle room, do you? I thought, no, I don't, because I see what this happens all the time. We go through it constantly. I go through it myself. I actually walk this out in front of you all the time. See, I love what I do. I love what I do so much, and I've done this 25 years now. I talked about retiring. I've lived this lifestyle for 25 years. I always try to keep it under control. What happens is I get on the phone with you, I start sending email messages back and forth, and what could have been an 18-hour week becomes a 50 or 60-hour week because I'm having fun. 8 o'clock at night, Sunday morning, I'm just having fun until it wears you out and wears you down, and you realize some of the most important things, like making this podcast as good as I can make it, doesn't get done because I'm busy on the other stuff. So I'm walking my talk. I'm sharing exactly what I'm doing. I'm not a young guy. I'm not an old guy, but I'm starting to be the older guy in the room. Sometimes the oldest. Don't like that. I looked around the room the other day. I was at the Daytona Beach Ocean Center watching the Harlem Globetrotters. And I literally found myself looking around the room to see how many people had gray hair. That's a weird place to be. How did that happen? I went from being the youngest guy in the room to the oldest guy in the room, and it seemed to happen so fast. So what are you going to do today? Tick-tock. Time is moving along. It's always going to get crazier. That's what happens. The world gives you more. People give you more. More is on the other side of less. You got to slow down. You got to get the less thing going on, right? And if you do that, I promise you life changes. It is so simple. You want to write a book? Do less of everything else and spend an hour a day on your book. You want to be a millionaire? And you got maybe 20, 30 years to go? Spend an hour or two a week and focus on your investments. Let everything else go. Get it out of the way. But I got to have money to go buy my Doritos. No, you don't. You need to invest it someplace. Slow down. Do what you need to do for yourself, and then you can get out and help the world. Yes, by the way, I said that. Focus on yourself first. Put your own oxygen mask on, as every single motivational speaker on the planet. One day, have you ever heard the Chris Farley bit? I'm a motivational speaker. I live in a van down by the river. You ever heard that? It's so funny. Check it out. Saturday Night Live, I think. One day I was in North Carolina, and I truly was living in a van down by the river. I cracked myself up. There was literally a river right in front of me, out my windshield, of my $350,000 40-foot diesel pusher. And so technically, it was a van down by the river. I'm just saying, okay? So if you want wiggle room, guys, buy yoga pants, okay? That's otherwise not going to work for you. You can ignore these questions, but next year is going to be the same as this year. It is. And if everything feels urgent, congratulations. You successfully avoided deciding what matters. And by the way, if should, can, must feels intense, you can always downgrade to hope, wish, maybe, someday. See how that works, okay? Have a great weekend. I'll be back Monday, and we'll do this thing again.